Hey everybody, it is Chanel here from Canadian Pixie Dust, and this is another Disney Craft DIY video. Today I'm going to show you how to make these guys. They are Mickey Mouse ears or Minnie Mouse ear keepers for when you're in the park. You can attach them to a belt loop or to your backpack for carrying your ears when you want to take them off. If you're like me, I love wearing my Mickey Mouse ears, but sometimes, you know, you get partway through the day and it kind of starts to hurt your head. So these are fantastic. You just slip your ears onto it and then snap it shut and you won't lose them. So there is a few things you're gonna need to make them. I got everything I needed from Amazon. I just placed an order and it all showed up on my doorstep, minus a few of the things that I have myself. Of course, my trusty ancient sewing machine. This is like a nylon cord. It's kind of like a seatbelt almost material or a belt material. I got a huge roll of this. These and the ribbon you're going to cut into 11.5 inches long lengths to make them. And again, this ribbon just came off of Amazon as well. They had a few different Disney ones. So I got the rainbow and I got the black and silver. You're going to need snaps for fasteners, a needle and thread. I've got my black thread here, a carabiner for the top, and then these are like a fastener that goes over the top and you squeeze it with your pliers. You also need a lighter for just finishing your edges of your pieces. Now to start, I like to just do the lighter at the ends of these. This just stops it from fraying, so you just run it across on both sides. And then I like to do the same thing to my ribbon. Ooh. And it just stops it from fraying. It is going to be underneath of that fastener, but it just makes it a little bit nicer that way. From there, you're going to take your nylon piece and you're going to attach a snap. So I just have been sewing these on. I fold it over so that I can get a feel for where it will go. And I go about 1/3 of the way down to sew on my snap. So when you sew your ribbon piece over the top, you won't see where you stitched on your snaps on the one side, and on the other side, of course, you're gonna see them to snap together. So now we're gonna sew on the ribbon onto the nylon piece. So what I did here is I used a white thread on the top because my ribbon is white. And then for this bottom thread, I used black thread so it blends in with the nylon. Now, the tricky part with this I found when I started this, because I made a few prototypes before I was able to make one for you guys, to show you guys, is with the presser foot here, one side is really thick and one side is really skinny, and I had to sew with the skinny side being where it was going across, otherwise the snap got into the way. So I am just lining up my ribbon. And I like to start with a few reverse stitches and then take it forward slowly. And of course, anywhere you're near the snap, you have to be a little more careful because it won't sit as flat. So just trying to readjust as I go along to make sure that it's sitting nicely. Coming up on that second snap, so I'm going nice and slow. Again, as I get to the end, I'm gonna just reverse stitch to knot it off. I'm gonna just trim it nice and close to get rid of the extra. Same thing, we're gonna go back to that first side and cut off the extra. Oh, it's a tiny piece and it doesn't want to come. There we go. And then we will flip it around. Now you'll notice it gets a little wobbly looking as I go. So I just take a moment and just stretch it back out again to flatten it back out. It's just from stitching it. So a couple of pulls down it, we'll flatten it back out again. And then we will stitch up the other side on my very, very old and incredibly reliable Kenmore machine, which I've been using since I was 12, and it was a very old machine at that point as it was handed down. Again, being very careful as we pull it through, just to make sure that that ribbon stays flat and that we're staying right along the edge of it. Now, if you're looking for some great ribbon, check out Amazon as well. There was some great ones on Etsy, tons and tons of different ones with different characters. A few reverse stitches at the end. Trim those threads on one side, and then again, we got a little bit long on this side, so we're going to snip some of that extra ribbon off. Beautiful. And then the final piece is we're going to take our little clasp at the end. It's got like little teeth in there, you can see, that will stab into the material. So you're just going to fold it together and give it a little snap. Get your tops lined up. I always like to see which side I like best, so I kind of put it on and see this side looks better because it's got a full Mickey versus this side. So I put the back side to there, kind of line it up over the top, and then give it a big old squish with your pliers. These are not jewelry pliers or anything. They are out of my husband's toolbox. Shh, don't tell him. I will put them back later. There you go. And then we're just gonna add our carabiner to the top of it. And then you can attach it on to your backpack. Or if you have jeans or something on, you could totally add it to your belt loop instead to hang your ears off to take them as you walk through the park. Now you know how to make your own DIY pair of Disney Minnie ear keepers. I will put the links for the products I used from Amazon down below in the comments. Remember, if you like this video, to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, then you'll get an email in your inbox each time a new video comes out from Canadian Pixie Dust. Of course, you can also follow along on our adventures on Instagram and on Facebook. So remember, spread a little pixie dust everywhere you go.